Okay.
All right. You said we're live right now. Okay.
Cool. Excellent.
All right, lovely. I
Well,
need a leader.
Yes.
Leader.
Well, I would like to say hello. Hello, everyone. Greetings. Can you believe July's almost over?
No, I can't.
That's what I want to talk about.
Not happy about that.
Yeah.
The summer's going way
too fast. And we've
My
had
birthday month. It just flew by.
It flew by. And we haven't been on air since the wedding.
That's
the wedding.
Right.
So it has been, there's lots of different things happening over here. Danielle is now a Ferguson.
Yes, I am. On June 28th, I got married to the love of my life. He's so sweet, special.
Yes. Our executive producer, behind the scenes.
Yes.
Well, what's so funny too is our last 3 books have been about
Oh my gosh.
the wife. It was like the
Right.
ex-wife,
Yes,
the wife,
the
and
wife.
now the lovely
The
wife.
lovely wife.
Yeah, the
Yes.
lovely wife.
The lovely wife. Well, my
Let me
lovely
go
wife.
get my serrated.
Right. And then you did have a birthday, so we
I
got to
did.
celebrate Daria
Yes.
in
It was
grand
a
style.
wonderful birthday. They got me a cake and we sang
Oh.
happy birthday. Yes,
What
it was
kind
a
of
good
cake
time.
did we
Well,
get?
yeah, please.
It had the Prince symbol on the top of the cake
Yes.
because Prince is my favorite artist, and
Yes.
it came out. And I was like,
Right.
it was awesome.
It was well done. Her sister knows her well.
Yes.
Trust us.
Oh, yes,
That
it was
really,
nice.
really awesome.
Tanya said, "Oh,
Oh.
Danielle."
Oh.
Oh,
Is that Tanya?
Oh my goodness!
Is that Tanya
Davenport,
Davenport?
yes.
Wow.
Hey, This is the first book she's read since she wrote her
Ooh.
dissertation.
Good.
Oh,
I understand. I
awesome.
understand.
Awesome.
Yes. Very good, Tanya. I'm so proud of you. Our
Yes.
chats at odds helped. Wink, wink.
Oh, very
Yes.
good. Very good, Tanya. Very good.
Awesome. So, and what else did you do for your birthday? Anything else? I think you had breakfast. I recall. I love
Oh,
that.
yes.
Mhm.
My older son cooked me breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
very nice. I woke up and I was smelling bacon. And I thought, is this from like 2 or 3 days ago? The smell's still in my house. But actually, he had woken up before me,
Nice.
and he made me breakfast in bed. It was so sweet.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
It was very nice.
Sweet.
So, you have 31 days of fun. So, we're only at the 25th. So, hopefully, you have some more fun this weekend.
I
Absolutely.
guess I will. I will.
Yes.
I
Good.
promise.
Good. And my conference went really well. I made it out of Detroit with flying colors. It was awesome. So we planned the wedding. We had the wedding, and then a week later, I was in Detroit for 6 days. So it was good. It's been busy. It's been very
It has
busy.
been busy. And you're just getting back from?
I went to Bermuda. I didn't tan that well. I used SPF 100.
Good job. Good
Yeah,
job.
because I tan so well.
Wait,
so
I
well.
thought over like 15 or 30, it doesn't really make a difference.
I don't think
That's
it
what I
does. It's still tan.
but
not
you
much.
feel better using 100.
Yes, 100 makes me feel like I'm doing something good to my
That's a
skin.
good.
Yes.
That's a good.
I did lay out for like an hour or two. It was very hot.
Yeah.
Fish were everywhere. It was beautiful.
Weather was
The
beautiful.
weather was gorgeous. Gorgeous. Everything
Perfect.
was really nice. Because I leave in 4 days to go to Dominican Republic.
Yes, this is
So-
the summer of
For the
Danielle.
honeymoon.
For the honeymoon.
For the honeymoon.
Yes.
Or the family moon.
The honeymoon with the family.
Right, the family moon.
The family.
Which is
moon.
nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Excellent.
Hello, Alana. Alana says, hey,
Yeah,
ladies.
hi,
Hi.
Alana,
Alana,
did you finish
the book?
Did you
Right.
finish, Alana?
I think she was at, what, 60%?
She was, moving. She was moving and shaking this morning. I
Given-
know we were on the train
Given
in New
that
York.
she just started it.
Wow.
Won't say
Fast
when.
reader. Fast reader, Alana. I know you are.
Oh,
That's good.
8:59. Good
Oh, she-
timing.
Oh, she
Excellent.
finished? Oh,
One,
go,
with
Alana.
1 minute to spare.
Excellent,
Very good.
excellent.
Very good, my sister.
Now you can dive in with us and get to all the details.
Yes.
That's good. That's really good. So what are you guys doing? Well, this weekend you're getting ready to leave
I'm
again.
trying to like unpack and repack.
My goodness.
You know?
Yeah, I
Unpack
understand.
and repack.
I
That's
understand.
what
I'm
I'm
going to
trying
work
to do.
on getting some sun this weekend for sure. I
Are
feel
you?
like, I was in the office this week. I mean, inside in the summer is rough.
Yeah.
Really
It
is.
is.
So
It is.
I'm going to
Yes.
take my...
You get cabin fever a lot faster.
Yeah, I'm going to take my business outside and get some vitamin D
Very good,
and
Keisha.
soak up the sun and plan for the month of September, which will be here before we know it.
Yes, it will. Yes,
Oh.
it will.
I
I don't want to think about that.
I know. We
Yeah.
won't think about it. We will not think about it. We will
Yes.
stay focused. Yeah. So who else do we have?
We have Alana and Tanya.
All right.
So
So
far.
Oh.
I know that. Well, I was, this Z usually pops in the end, and we have maybe a special guest. Do you want to talk about that?
Maybe not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Well,
Yes.
we'll see how that
And
goes.
we know
Yeah.
Bobby will be there tomorrow. So hi, Bobby. You know, Bobby. She
Well,
comes
you
in
know what?
next
The last
day.
2 episodes,
Yeah.
Bobby sent a chat message or a message on the comments saying like, "Oh, I just missed it. Oh, I just missed it." So, Bobby, we are hoping that you
Yeah.
make it this time.
Yeah. Well, we
Fingers crossed.
always share your comments, so we always love that too. That's good.
Yes.
And we did change the time. We went, came up a little bit earlier, so we understand that too for our West Coast friends. But
Oh, that's true. 6
You know,
o'clock for them.
yeah, they could be in rush hour and things like that. So yeah,
True.
Either
understand
way,
that.
even if we had only one person
Yep.
watching or 0,
Right. 'Cause
this
people
is
check it
here
later.
for all
Right.
posterity.
Yeah.
This
Absolutely.
is here for all
What's
posterity.
cool is when we go back and we look at the amount of views after the live stream. We're just kind of like, that's really cool.
Thanks.
So we appreciate it when people go back and look.
Yes, we do.
And then taking a look at the list of the books.
Oh,
too.
and Christina's here. Hi,
Hi,
Christina.
Christina.
Hi, Christina.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining.
we appreciate it.
Yes, we
Yes, that's good.
do.
So
All right.
tell me, what do you guys think? Do we get to start now?
It is
I
9:06.
think we should.
I think let's
Yes.
go for it.
Let's
go
dive
for
in.
it.
There's a lot to talk about with this book.
Okay,
Yes.
first of all, right, hold on to your hats. This was something. I mean, really. You know, hats, wigs, whatever you got on your head. It was a lot. So we always start with, did you like the book? All right.
Okay. Should I?
Daria, you go
Okay.
first.
Okay, so I definitely like this book. I got through it very quickly, which I always enjoy. And the thing about this book that I haven't had with any of our other books so far is it really scared me. It really did.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, because it made me think about how people can have a mask. They can have like a persona,
Yeah.
like a character that they're representing, and be one way that they present to the world, and then be something completely like monstrous and despicable
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Because she seemed so like she was so like believable in her everyday life, and then
Absolutely.
boom, she was also believable as this
Yes.
serial killer,
Yeah.
torturer. So it scared me. It actually had my heart racing a little bit.
Yeah. As you're turning the pages, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, and I fell
Yeah.
asleep reading it for the past 2 nights,
Mm.
and I had nightmares.
Oh,
No
I'm
shock
sure.
there.
I know.
Yes, I
I
did.
know.
So, did you like the book, Danielle?
You know, it wasn't one of my favorites. I think just of the topic and the killings and the death and the dead people downstairs and he's sleeping with people and then. But the book was good. The book was good. We don't generally read books about like
I know.
murder.
I
and
know.
stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
And like I think I picked this book somehow.
Yeah.
And
You did,
you know,
okay.
I don't know where these things come from, but I feel like that lady acted like a serial killer at home. Like they had to have certain food and they
Right.
couldn't
Yeah,
have snack
yeah.
and
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
that's too uptight, tightly wound, something's
Yeah.
wrong with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, I like the book. I enjoy the book. However, like that's not a book or genre that I, read.
She did pick the book.
I did.
Yeah,
No,
she did.
I think like Audible picked it, like based on
Based on your last few reads.
yes.
Well, it was in the whole white genre.
It really was.
And from AI, it probably knew she was about to get married.
Right,
Let's
right.
recommend another wife book.
Yeah.
Right. But I can't say I wanted to put it down. Like I wanted to read it. I wanted.
It was
but
a
that's what the
picture.
book is supposed
Yeah.
to do, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Well,
I like the book as well. I do think I was concerned on a couple different levels, just
Yeah.
about the intensity, about the relationship, the intense relationship the couple had, and what seemed to bring them and spark them
It's
in
so
a
crazy.
joyful, happy way was really
Yeah.
truly eerie. So yeah, no, last night, as I was getting towards the end, I did not sleep well last night.
Yeah,
I agree.
right.
So, but books are supposed to be provocative and make you think. And I think this made me think a lot. And I think that's the goal.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, I'm looking at the comments,
Yes.
Mhm.
and it looks like Alana is acknowledging or admitting
Oh my! A lot of you like this stuff.
that this is actually a favorite genre of hers.
okay.
Oh my,
She likes
oh my.
true crime and serial killer stuff.
Oh my!
And I guess the ID channel is where you go to find that, apparently.
Yeah.
But Tanya says I wanted more, like more killing.
What did you want more of, Tanya?
There were dead bodies at the bottom of the church.
I mean,
Yeah.
Like,
which he did not know.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
we'll get into the questions, but I mean, she was just off doing her own thing.
and
but,
so was he. Those sleeping on them people
well, he slept with 2
that he told us.
that he
about.
told us about because
Oh.
They're like
truly-
mice. Where there's one, there's
Yeah,
a
good
1,000.
well, that's like field mice. Yes.
Yes.
Well, so
Well, but they had every sort of crime up in this book.
everything. Tell me.
Tell me,
know?
what do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, there was killing.
Mm-hmm.
There was also like kidnapping,
Torture.
essentially torture.
Yes.
There
There was a den of like horror. There was a
Yes,
basement of
yes.
horrors.
and actually, I mean, impersonation is another.
Right.
Mail fraud.
Yeah.
Okay, like isn't that
Yeah.
another one when you
Where we
send
send-
stuff through the mail that's
Mhm.
like not accurate?
Oh, right.
Mail fraud. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a lot of
All the stuff with
layers.
the DNA too. I mean,
And this was the author's first book.
wow.
This was Samantha Downing's first book. Now, wait, what? Actually, let me back up because I did a little research. Apparently, this was not her first book that she wrote. It was the first one that she submitted.
Oh.
So she wrote, like, she said, like 11 books before this. But this is the first one where I guess she felt good enough about it that she wanted it to get out.
Oh.
Well, wow.
So, yeah, I was doing a little research.
Right. What's good? I mean, that's very
I
helpful.
think she did great for her first book. I mean, she did
Yeah.
great for her 10th book. Like,
yeah.
very good writing, very good story.
Very believable because
Yeah.
I think what you said, you know, in the opening about, you know, these masks that people wear. Who do you really know anyone?
Right.
And is anyone truly capable of anything? You know,
Yes.
so that's well, I think
Yes.
so. I mean, this story certainly, but I think the rigidity and kind of like the militaristic kind of way that
Yes.
the household was run.
Yeah.
6 o'clock dinner, everything had to be kind of
Yeah.
like Stepford wife-ish.
Yeah.
Those are concerns. So that was like a red flag for me. I knew she might have been the one prompting. And I certainly felt bad about the family history that she switched up. And I thought, you know, at the wedding, and I thought this to me was like very telling.
know.
And she was like, here we
go.
go.
Yes.
Here we go.
Like, here
That's
we
so
go.
weird. That's so weird.
Very
like
weird.
she knew she was about to have
Yeah.
him in for a wild ride.
Right.
But why did she want to set him up? I never understood that.
He
Like,
cheated
why?
on her.
But
Yeah, I know, like in a divorce.
did it start when
Like,
he cheated on her?
Yeah, but were they already killing? Before?
Yes,
They
right.
were already
they
killing
had already
together.
killed 2.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah.
did she set him up?
That
Yeah.
she flipped the script
She did.
when she realized that he was cheating.
When he violated the marriage.
Yeah,
Yes.
but,
I mean, that was a very extreme way to handle it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, without a doubt. I don't know if they're
I mean, because there are marriage counselors out there.
yeah, there are.
Well, so okay, so Alana wanted to see the whole family turn into serial killers together, like Jenna and Rory. Was that the son's name?
Right, Rory. Jenna.
You wanted to see Jenna and Rory. They were only like what, 14,
They were
13?
13 or 14. I mean, the mother was poisoning Jenna.
Yes, with
She-
the
I know,
eye
the
drops.
With the
Eye
eye
drops.
drops, with the Visine. I mean, she clearly hated her daughter and loved her? Question mark.
Yeah.
Very, very strange. But you
She
know
had
what
that
it
energy.
was? Jenna
Yeah.
did not
Yeah.
look like her. Rory did.
That's right.
And the husband always mentioned that. He wanted a daughter that looked like his wife. And we don't really know what set Melissa off with Jenna. But that was mentioned more than, once about the physical features.
Yeah, it was. Well, I thought the thing with the daughter that was so weird is when she did something that reminded the father of Millicent.
At Krav Maga, when she hit the kid with the rock.
Yes. At the
Krav
martial
Maga.
arts place.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the same thing that he had found sexy in his wife,
He
he found like horrifying in his
in his
daughter.
daughter.
Right.
So isn't
Yeah.
it like, how can the same quality in one person attract you so much, but in another person it completely repels you?
Because
Right.
you helped create one.
Because I also think your spouse, you expect them to not be like perfect, but your kid, you want them to be like the perfect person for
So you think you excuse certain things?
Oh, you have to excuse things to be with anybody.
Yeah, but she did more than just excuse it. He thought it was sexy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there
Right,
was
but things
something
I
in
find
him.
sexy in my husband, I'm not gonna find sexy in my kid.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I get that.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm not saying the whole rock thing. I'm not gonna find that sexy in anybody throwing a rock at somebody.
Right.
Well, that's like Larry's defending me. Then it's kinda hot, But if my son did, I'm like, Ken, chill out. Like,
Yeah.
you need to stay in
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Yeah.
But your sister is a little sick.
Yeah.
She thought it was a comedy. She thought the book was a
Alana.
comedy.
Well,
Yes, she did.
no, Alana, it was not a comedy.
She did say it's a comedy.
We've got to talk.
I felt like the beginning was more of a dark comedy, was her statement.
No. What in the world?
Well, okay, Alana, find us the definition of a dark comedy because maybe we're missing something. But I didn't think that. I didn't take it as that.
Not at all.
So what was your impression?
Yes, she does need an intervention, Christina. Yes.
Yes. I know.
So what was your first impression of the narrator and then of Millicent? What were your first impressions? What did you think?
First impressions, okay. The narrator, the husband, the father, he was just weak. He was just weak. He was there. He was along for the ride. And people like that. So I have two categories that I'd say people fall into. I can't say this on air.
Why not?
Okay.
Oh, were you gonna say
It's a
top or
curse
bottom?
word. Can I say that?
You can say a curse
Okay.
word.
Okay, there's people who make shit happen.
Hmm.
And then there's people who shit happens to.
Right, victims.
He is in the second category.
Right.
And I heard another quote that relates to this just yesterday. And it's basically, when push comes to shove, make sure you're the one doing the pushing.
Right.
And he was not. He was the one being shoved.
Towards right. He didn't realize all of that till almost he was behind bars.
Oh, always. Always.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
it's like you just imagine him like always getting swept under the rug.
Right.
Right? He's like a bug that can just like dust
Yeah.
that can just get swept away.
Do the dishes.
So
do
I like
this,
I had no
Yeah.
respect for him. I just had no respect for him.
And what was your first impression of Millicent? Was it the
Millicent was twisted. She was twisted, but she was very organized. So I admire her organizational
my.
skill. I mean, she kept everything in order. I
Yeah.
like that. That's
and they their lives not going the way they had planned, and then taking that $10,000 and turning themselves into these esteemed people and members of the community. I thought, wow, what a turn in their circumstances and the way that they improved their lifestyle, completely.
What $10,000?
So there was a part where the narrator shares that he was in a class action lawsuit
Oh yes.
and he had a windfall. And they
Of the
basically,
$10,000.
of the $10,000, and the children were very little, so they paid for a sitter and they spruced themselves up, and they went to
the country club party.
country club party,
Yes.
and he hustled and got tennis clients,
Oh,
and she hustled and got clients for her real estate business, and that's really when they started to see the surge in their income, and they could move to the nicer house in the neighborhood.
Right.
Well, so what was your first impression? I mean, I know you talked about Millicent, but
well, Millicent, I mean, I really didn't think much of her at first. Like, I know she was on a plane, she ordered water. Like, that was a little weird. Like, who orders water on a plane? Like,
Oh
like,
yeah.
you
we're
know,
already going to be dehydrated. Drink
right,
alcohol.
like alcohol, or even if you got a soda with your pretzel. But I don't know, like, I don't know, I got an impression of like ice cubes and some plain water. But that might be wrong. I don't know. But Millicent, yeah, whatever. I don't know. She just seemed mean and cold and just too rigid. And like, I don't know if the kids could really feel love from her because she was just so many rules, so rigid.
Right.
And then him, I feel like she made him insecure because when she left that week or whatever, because he went out with his friends
And got drunk.
and then took the kids with him.
Oh yeah.
Her,
You know, so
yeah.
right
She saw
there-
him disappeared.
8
Right,
days.
she's up and disappeared. So now she put him on like an unequal playing field because like if he stays where he has to walk around with eggshells, wondering when she's gonna leave again, what's
Yep.
she gonna do, or what's he gonna do to piss her off. So I don't know if he started off weak, but she knew how to make him insecure and mess with him.
Right.
So right then I knew she was an evil person.
Right. That was not loving at all.
That's
And how
not
like
loving.
their marriage. I mean, that was really the dynamic within their marriage. One seemed to always have the upper hand. She seemed to always have the upper hand. She always seemed to be a couple steps ahead.
Well, and so looking at the comments here and just reflecting on what we're saying, so he was the type of person that would basically do anything for her.
For her,
Anything
for
she
her.
wanted, anything
Yeah.
to keep her happy. And she was the type of person that wanted that. So Alana said she's abusive, controlling, narcissistic,
Yes, all those
sociopathic.
things,
Oh,
yes.
And so
Yes.
the only way a relationship like that is going to work is if the two people are coming from those two sides. Like somebody who wants somebody who's going to completely
Right.
submit to them,
Yeah.
and a person who wants to be dominated.
Right.
I mean, it's just
it's
sick.
Right. And they both
It is.
came from very interesting backgrounds, one of which, Millicent made up. I mean, find out eventually.
Right.
She was the abuser. She was the one, hurting animals and her sister the entire time.
I know.
But she twisted it and made it seem like she was the victim, locked her sister up. I mean, her sister was, in, psychiatric care for years.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a shame.
I mean, what person does that to their, their sister? And then I think
what happened to her?
we really don't know, because when we meet Millicent's, and hear about Millicent's mom who's died, she had Alzheimer's. So we never really get the full story.
Yeah.
From the narrator, you hear he had a very unloving, uncaring, family life and structure. His parents just said basically when he was out of high school, like, bye, and he went to Europe. And that's really when they
Never came back.
They never came back. So, I think that's very interesting. And so
Christina said codependency, and I think that is so true.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And I think
right.
and I think that's when Millicent snapped, is when that trust, what she believed, that they had in their marriage, that was the thing that really set her off. Anybody who got close to him, she began to create that list and profile.
Do you guys remember the way she described their sex? They described their sex.
No.
Oh, their sex life? No.
Yeah.
What did she say? I don't remember.
He said cozy and comfortable.
It wasn't good. It was just like what he's used to.
Yeah.
Like
Like
just
cozy,
like
yeah. But when
it did the job.
right, but when they murdered,
What made you think of that?
I just thought it was like
well, it was about their marriage, right?
it's their marriage. It was just like
Yeah.
I can't say on air what made me think of it, but I was just like, oh, I can't say on air what made me think of it. I guess when you're with somebody that long, like, do you just have that cozy,
comfortable?
It's not about length of time.
Okay, I don't know.
No.
I mean, and is it a bad sex if it's just
Right.
comfortable and cozy?
I mean,
I
it
think
sounded like he wasn't complaining about it, but when he was comparing it to,
It was different than the ones that he slept with.
well,
Right.
he was different than when they had somebody in captivity or when they had just killed somebody.
Yeah, then it was like amazing.
That was amazing, and it
Yeah.
was exciting,
The adrenaline.
and they were like very ferocious with each other. That part was very concerning. Like in terms of
It's
erotica,
animalistic. It's
Yeah.
very animalistic.
Yeah.
Like being excited about these base level things.
someone in
It's-
captivity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
The
and the
evilness.
paper cuts. That's the thing.
Yeah, the paper
The
cut.
first, that was one of my first surprises. Thinking about the story.
With the emergency card,
The emergency card.
information card from the. Who knew?
How-
that you could use that thing.
I don't think you could. I don't think
I
that's
think you
real.
could. The one on the plane. With
I think
the thick
Samantha didn't do her
edges,
research
with
that
the
part.
with the
It's
perfect.
kind
It's
of
like
thick. It's kind of thick.
well with the what's it called, lamination, with the
Yeah, the one
lamination
that's
on it.
laminated.
Like,
Usually it's
if
a little
it can be
thin.
sharp, and
Usually
you
it's
can
a little thin
you
paper.
can just
that kicks
imagine
you.
it. Like,
maybe in first
the
class. Who
eyelids.
knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole idea.
Not on Southwest. Not on Southwest.
Well, the thing about the
It must
eyelids.
have been on loose hands. though.
Yeah, right. Or United or Delta. No.
Yeah.
But like the whole idea of
Cliff-ends.
cutting someone's eyelids.
I know.
With the that was very shocking. That was a big surprise. What were other surprises in the story to you?
Well, the fact that there was a female serial killer. Like, how often do you
Sure.
encounter that? That's capable of, like, you always, well, I don't want to say you, I always in my mind have the image of a serial killer being like this crazy, like, backwoods, typically white, long hair,
Yeah,
this
male,
like
yeah.
Like a white
grungy,
male.
white man. Yeah, and it's like, they flipped this around, like you said, Stepford. She was like a Stepford wife by day,
Perfect.
and like a hunter torturer by night.
Heels, and did you notice they talked about the heels that you could never hear her coming in?
Yes.
She had heels that were like, so you could see her just like walking around.
Stealth.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like
And what made her use a church? Like a church of all places. A church.
Yeah, but
Well, she thought that was where nobody would look.
Right.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what
But she wasn't religious. They said
Neither of
one
them
were.
were. Don't be a part of anybody's church when you're doing all that.
Right.
But no, they did say that it was, they got married like in a garden, and then they went and signed the paperwork on Monday. But everything was like a story. It was like made up.
Yeah.
And very fake. And so she just thought they wouldn't look there. But really, she kind of knew they would, because she was really setting this all in motion for the narrator. I thought one of the surprises for me was when I heard about, and this is towards the, the climax, is when she made the holdings, the LLC in her children's name.
RJ
The
Enterprises.
RJ Enterprises.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that was freaky.
That was.
Yeah.
That was so concerning.
But it was also, enterprising.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was very, it was a smart investment. She made an investment.
Yeah.
She covered her tracks like a lot of different ways. So,
really.
Do any of you want to know what that tracking system was that they've used
what do you mean?
Yeah.
for the vehicles?
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, what is the tracking mean?
They track each other with the.
No, but I mean, you're acting like you know about this somehow.
I'm just curious.
Danielle.
I'm just curious if any of you wanted to know the tracking system.
I do. Yes. What is it, Danielle?
I don't know. We'll have to inquire.
We have to inquire.
But
I think
that's
that's
all
weird
kinds of
too.
surveillance
That's real.
equipment.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to track people nowadays. I mean, think about this Life 360. Think about
Yeah.
Find My Friends on your
Right.
phone.
Yeah.
You see how easy it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hello.
But why
So-
did he think Melissa was smart enough to figure out he would? I mean, he
I
just
don't know.
didn't.
He's so stupid.
He was
like
like
he just
to
wanted
think through.
attention, whether it was negative or positive
Or
attention.
and just her acceptance
Her,
or
yes.
approval. They split in Eclair when they go into her office. They were so like rigid with like
They're
their
split in Eclair.
an Eclair like a dessert.
Oh, it was like perfectly cut in half. That's what they said.
Yes.
Like she cut it. This was like equal size.
So now that's a sign of not loving
Yeah.
someone. If I gotta cut in half so I get my, that's like you get a bite, I get a bite.
Right.
I might not get the
Yeah,
one
it
as much
was
as
so
you, but
weird. And they
that's
split a
sign.
piece of dark chocolate, and I just thought to me, I was just like, who even?
I live the book. That's a clue. If your man needs to
Don't
cut
do
the
it.
piece of pizza in exact half or the pie, not you get a bite, I get a bite. No, that's a sign. That's a sign.
I think you're right.
I
know it's a
Very,
sign. Like,
very.
Why did it have to be perfectly
yeah,
even?
yes.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
And the
you're right.
author did a really good job of. You could see the visual. You know,
Yeah.
like that's. I was just like, that is so strange to me.
And if you
So
love
weird.
somebody, you kind of want them to have like a little bit more than you have.
Yeah.
So Alana is saying, okay, Rory is also going to turn into a serial killer.
Rory.
because
I'm not.
she said that's how he kept his desk too. He was very OCD like.
Yes.
Remember they said his whole room was messy,
except for his
desk. But they said he didn't spend much time at his desk, so I'm not totally sure about that.
and he needed help with his
He was
homework.
like
He may not have been a
blackmailing his father. That boy is sick.
Yeah, he had some potential on him.
Not
Yeah, but you,
potential.
as a father, you can't let your child
Absolutely not.
flip things around on you. Like
Can you
I'm like, how
imagine?
can he not keep his child in check? Like, there's no way. If my child tried to blackmail me,
Right?
oh no. He would be out on the street.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
The
grown.
streets.
I can come in whenever I want to come
Yes.
in. I
Not
can
pay
go
my
whenever I want to
bills.
go.
Yeah, that was. I thought
I
that
got my
was-
freedom papers years
Mhm.
ago.
No, we are all fully grown here. You
Right.
do not pay one bill. Yeah, I thought that was really weird.
Yeah.
Very strange. And the thing that made me concerned was like, why did the narrator think it was something to talk about with his wife? She had so much going on her plate while she was holding women captive.
I
Well,
know.
he was afraid. I think he was afraid of her. Like he couldn't even ask her where she was keeping the girls.
Yeah. He couldn't. He felt
Right?
like he didn't have.
He was like,
yeah,
I'll just, I'll leave it up to her, kind of a thing. What?
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
no.
So this is an interesting question. What scenes did you most relate to? And are there any conversations that you've had with your spouse? Like
Ooh.
About what?
like in
I was looking at all the comments we
in
missed.
this scenario.
What scenes do you most relate to? I mean, some of the tennis club scenes I could relate to, like the one where he saw what's her name, Trista,
Yeah.
like off in the distance crying and drunk and whatever. I can relate to that, like not
Yeah.
me being Trista, but like I can relate to encountering people
Like that.
who are just so distraught and
Yeah.
they're just beside themselves. And I mean, granted, in her case, it was because she was in love with a real serial killer,
She was.
also.
She was.
Mhm.
But that's enough to make you want to kill yourself.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh,
Alana, sorry, this is unique.
what?
She said I related to the story of Holly and Millicent.
Let's not go there. Next. Next.
So what scenes did you think or relate to?
Tanya,
Oh,
do not
Tanya said
ask
how.
how.
Yes,
Do
how.
not ask. No. We're not going to turn this into Alana and Darby.
Tanya.
Alana said I also related to Petra when she asked if he was really dead.
Oh, okay. That's one you can relate to.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that was very interesting. What about you? What
Can you imagine somebody trying to fake like there's something that they're not, like that?
Yeah.
Like death?
Right. And I kept Petra alive to show what a scumbag you are. That's what Millicent said. She didn't kill Petra because she wanted someone to say how horrible he was. When I was reading that, I'm like, who thinks of that? Kill all the other girls. The girl that served him food in the club. He wasn't even involved with that girl. But you keep Petra alive because you need someone to say it.
Well, but she was right.
She was right.
She was right, because that took over the news cycle.
It did because they couldn't. Naomi's story, people didn't believe because Naomi was a lady of the night sometimes.
She had so many clients.
Naomi was a lady of the night.
Oh, Alana said, I'm the good sister. I'll leave it there.
Yes, thank you.
We know,
Tony said, yes, Petra, she was on point. Tanya said that.
So,
okay, but how about this? So maybe we never dated anybody who was a fake serial killer, or we never dated anybody who faked that they were deaf. But I bet you've dated somebody who faked something.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I definitely.
I agree.
I dated someone who faked that they were an air marshal. Okay. An air.
I think he was.
This?
I think he was.
No, he was not.
He came back with a tan girl when he was in Egypt.
No.
He had a full-on tan.
Faked that he was an air marshal.
Faked that he was an air marshal, right? I was supposed to think he had such a dangerous job. No.
Yeah.
No.
She
He had a gun permit.
He had a
Okay.
fake name at the hospital. Everything.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have to think about that one. I really do.
I think everybody sends their fraudulent self.
I mean, I think everybody sends their representative.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Then you got to wait like a good 4.5 years to see.
And then what pops out.
Yeah.
Surprise!
The representative cannot hang past 4.5 years.
No. It's a long time.
A long time.
Right.
You got to do everything you can to pull out the real
It takes that
person.
long, 4.5 years.
After 4.5 years, I'm confident that you.
The real.
You'll see the actual.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think if we look at our own patterns.
A treasury agent.
Wait, what?
Alana dated a guy who said he was a treasury agent.
Like, what is
Oh
that?
my.
Yes,
Air
Air
Marshal.
Marshal Tanya. Yeah. Like the ones that ride in the plane and make sure like nothing jumps off on the plane. Yeah, that's what he said he did.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is that people are good storytellers. You believe them.
Right.
But after 4.5 years, perhaps. That's
I think 4.5 years is a good time to.
That's a long time.
It's really not.
I don't have 4.5 years.
You did. We're 45.
No, I don't
Like,
have
we're
4.5
old.
years. No. There needs to be a quicker way. Anyway, back to the story.
there must be a better way. So
There is a quicker way, but
But
you
what
might
did
not
you-
want to go through that.
What did you think in terms of conversations or people that you've seen that were relative? Like, have you ever had any of these kind of conversations with your spouse?
About
You
what?
know?
Which ones?
So-
Killing people?
Well, no,
I tell
just
him
in
yes.
scenes in the story.
Yes. I say until death do us part. That means until you die or I kill you. Yes, that's very clear.
Okay. All right.
Because I don't believe in infidelity, and I might get a knife. I might.
Okay.
And then I will relate to me calling you like you were Andy, like you should help me.
Yes.
Like I
And
may or may
then
not.
But eventually, Andy even had to bow out.
Right.
Andy was
Because I don't
like,
think
"Listen,
Keisha would bow
I
out.
can't do this anymore."
No,
I don't think
he
Keisha
said
would bow out.
No, but it's no longer.
She's ride or die.
I'm
Ride or
She got me on the park one.
It
It was locked up, like locked, park locked. Laurel Acres park locked. You cannot get her out. We had to. I shouldn't put this.
I
may or may not have had to do some illegal things to get out of the park. However, once I broke out the park, Keisha was there. Like
That was
beep, beep.
a hypothetical scenario about Laurel.
I was
That
not in the
a
police blotter.
hypothetical.
I might or might not have been in the police
years
blotter.
ago, before there was
Years
a
ago,
blotter.
yeah.
Yes. So the media plays a really large role in this book.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
The story. Okay, first of all, yes, Christina, I agree. Even 4 minutes too long.
Agreed.
But Alana is saying, Danielle, you revealed that there was somebody. I remember this. When you found out that somebody she was dating was actually married. You remember that?
I do remember that.
Oh,
Yes.
But that's actually the run of the mill. That's actually run of the
told me
mill.
he had no kids. Alana, you're right, and I really felt bad that I revealed that to you. I thought you knew it.
Yeah, but
You know-
but in the whole scheme of things, people lying about whether they're
They
married
do.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
run of the mill.
That's very
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yep.
They do lie. That's 4.5 years, guys. You gotta give it. 4.5 years. Like you gotta make your pasta al dente. You gotta make sure your rice. It's just what you gotta do.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
4.5 years.
Gotta wait it
You did
out.
not
gotta
go with
wait
the
it out.
cooking metaphor.
You
She
got this.
She did.
It's real. It's real.
It's like whiskey. You gotta let it age.
You gotta age. You gotta
Okay.
let it
Barrel,
age.
there you go.
You gotta-
Right.
I mean, enjoy the ride and drink the whiskey while it's aging, but just let it age.
Because
Yes.
then the longer, it's
Yeah,
better.
you have to aerate it.
Oh
You
my
just gotta,
gosh.
you know.
Right. So the
Mhm.
Media
Oh.
played a really big role in the book.
Yes,
And
Josh
so
was his name, right?
Josh was really trying to figure out his claim to fame, I think.
Christina says I'm patient.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no, that's good. Yeah.
Did
be
she-
patient.
She says I'm patient. I don't know that I'm patient, Christina.
No comment.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm patient in most things in life.
No, the answer is no.
Right. But I'll wait like a good 4.5 years.
See, she's saying this because it doesn't apply to her anymore.
How does it apply to me? I waited 7. I was ready at 7 years.
You didn't wait. You had.
But I wasn't waiting because I didn't want anything. Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
So that's different. That
Yes.
is different.
Okay, if y'all say so. Okay. I waited all my life for y'all. I met you in like 7th grade and you when I was 30. That
Fourth
matters.
grade. I
You
think
were
I
not
met
30
you.
when we met. You were not 30.
All right, I'm not patient.
Okay, back to the story. Back to the story.
So the Media. Josh was the media mogul here, trying
Yes.
to figure things out. He was a little upset when his parade got a little rained on by the female detective, but
Yes.
clearly she was needed because
What
really,
was her name? What was that woman's name?
I think her name was. I want to
was
say
her?
Claire, but that's not right.
Wait,
It
what
was
female
not Claire.
person was
It was
needed?
the one
The
who
female
came in
detective.
out of town, the female detective.
And she started moving things along.
Oh yeah, she was
really.
with Christina, I think.
I thought it was Claire.
Christina, I don't have her name written down. I don't know what her name was. That's a shame.
Yeah, she was. But you know
And
what?
They described her wearing pantsuits
And gray
pantsuits.
and navy and very dull
What's
colors.
the problem with pantsuits?
Well, you know. I mean, I will wear them when I have nothing else to wear. I don't-
Absolutely,
Oh.
absolutely. I like pantsuits.
Oh,
but
it's Claire. It was Claire
oh,
Wellington.
thank
Claire.
you.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Very good.
I
That was
don't
from
think
a
there's
line,
a
I'm
problem
sure.
with
Yes.
Thank
pantsuits,
you.
though. I mean,
Yes.
it conveys strength
And
and seriousness.
Masculinity.
masculinity when it
Masculinity?
Yes.
is what people say the pantsuit is. But I'm a part of like a blog group called Pantsuit Nation that came up after, the last election. And I think the thing is that Pantsuit Nation is really trying to convey that strength comes all different kinds of ways.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with it. And it doesn't need to be masculine because femininity and masculinity should be equal.
yes.
But in our
I
society,
think they're equal. I think
they're not.
femininity is more beautiful than masculinity.
And
And when
No,
you
but
downplay yourself and wear
Yeah.
some masculine suits, that's why I think it's an issue because you're taking away from the beauty of
the power
femininity.
of being in
A woman.
the feminine space. Right. So people
Women
don't
have
necessarily-
taken down nations.
We have.
What?
So just a kiss. We look at our ancestors, yes.
Yes.
However, in
How-
this day and
Yes,
age,
yes.
it's very different. And femininity and masculinity are not necessarily seen in equal light. And so
Yeah.
I think
But
that
wait, but it was
description-
interesting that she changed to a skirt suit for the
When-
big press conference.
Correct.
So what was the point of that,
I
y'all?
think that was about her debut to the public. I mean, I think it was about
she
her.
was already on.
I don't mean
she was already
debut.
being. The media was already carrying her.
I think it was about where she felt like her promotion would come from.
Yeah, but why did she need to switch to a skirt suit when
Because
she had the big press conference? I would like to know what you think.
Hmm.
Because
Well-
I definitely, obviously we all noticed that.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, she wore a
Okay,
skirt
what I saw
suit.
was like a masculine look.
Like as if that's
what I
somehow
pictured.
better because it was like a big moment. Like,
But I think that
what's wrong with a pantsuit?
A lot. But Christina said she loves pantsuits. And then Alana.
and Tanya never wears pants. I've never seen the child.
She-
pants.
Listen, I'm wearing a pantsuit on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, I'm wearing
Okay.
one.
Okay. Well, and we take pictures, please, because
I will.
And Christina, I do hate stockings. I don't wear stockings. I wear tights during the winter. But stockings are played out.
Yeah,
like
stockings are.
Yeah, stockings are done.
Yeah,
they're done.
They're really done. Yeah.
Yeah, what happened? I don't know.
Tights.
Yeah.
Tights took over all the designs with the tights.
Okay, so back to the media.
Oh wait, Alana said she was done investigating and now presenting. Feeling like pantsuits are more comfortable to get around and do investigative work. But if I'm
Oh.
presenting, right, you're gonna wear like a nice
Oh, good perspective,
Very good,
Alana.
Alana. See, Alana, I'm glad
Yeah.
you read the book. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Alana says, I'm wearing sweatpants. Go, Alana.
Rock it out, girl.
Okay, so
yeah.
Josh, when
He got drunk. That
when
night.
Tobias Quentin / whatever his name is
Yeah.
was in the bar and he ran into Josh. Well, not ran into. He
Yeah.
basically tracked him there,
Yes,
right?
he did.
Because he
was
figured out
watching
that's where he goes every night.
it. Yeah.
His impression of Josh ended up shifting, I think, our perception of Josh too, right? I
He thought
because-
Josh was smarter. than
yeah,
he
up to
was.
that point, like I was
Yeah.
like, oh, Josh, this student, like
Right.
I thought of him like Anderson Cooper, you know?
Oh, I
Absolutely.
I didn't.
How did you think of him?
I thought of him as an overweight bald guy. And I don't
No.
know why. I don't
Josh?
know. Yeah.
Really?
I thought of Josh as like he kept talking about how he was earnest,
Right.
and I had
And then
this
he
image
had
of
a
like
zeal.
Anderson Cooper.
You
From
know,
what
energy.
from what
in
the
his-
narrator told you.
Right.
Well, later,
I didn't listen to
yeah.
the narrator half the time. Like, he was just like a punk. Like, I just, and I listened to it on Audible. So all I heard was like this punk. What about you? Did you hear it on Audible?
I did.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't.
no,
I
no.
read it.
Maybe that's
I heard it on
why. You
Audible.
probably heard better than
Yeah, I heard it on
For
Audible.
Josh,
my guy on Audible sounded like
He had
of
good voices.
Josh.
Josh,
The
he
reporter.
sounded
Josh
young and
himself.
excited and enthusiastic. That's how the
Yeah, that's Anderson Cooper.
yeah.
Have you seen Anderson Cooper lately?
Well, his
I
mother just
love
passed
Anderson
away.
Cooper.
God rest her soul.
I used to. I don't like none of those people now.
You don't like CNN or just any news
CNN,
report?
Fox, anybody. I
Okay.
just don't like anything.
I still like Anderson.
I do like Anderson, and I think I saw Josh being
He's gonna come out like that other guy that was messing around with the women, the Me Too movement.
No,
Yeah,
don't say
because I
that.
liked him before too. Now I'm done with
Who,
all of
Matt
them.
Lauer?
Matt Lauer.
Oh no.
Now I'm
I
done
never
with
liked
that.
Matt Lauer.
I'm done with all of them.
Okay, but we
Okay,
are digressing.
we digress. But I think though that Josh, what we saw is that he was human, and he was feeling challenged by Claire. He called her a bitch. And so he remembered everything, of course, the narrator said, but he should have not engaged with Josh. That was a very terrible mistake. And again, that's what Millicent said to him.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
What Millicent said to him was that, you don't look at the whole story. You just focus on one thing. You don't focus on everything. And she was right, because there were some big slip-ups.
Well, number one, he should have known. If you can't ask somebody with a question, then you know it's already wrong. Like, he didn't even want to ask her
Right.
where she get
Right.
the people, like, dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And then she got mad when he questioned about the cleanup. But that was, that was.
Oh, she snapped.
She snapped.
She was like, "Don't you dare!" Like I was just imagining, like she was like, "Don't you dare!" Something like that. Like, oh,
Right.
She was scary.
I mean,
Yeah.
just like towards the end. I mean, her children really got to see who she was.
Yeah.
Because all
I mean,
that
who tries
growling.
to poison your own kid?
I know.
Yeah, she
With,
did
like,
not.
Well, Eminem's mother,
Yeah.
We did.
the whole Munchausen thing,
Yes.
Munchausen syndrome.
Correct.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
it's real.
But I think she didn't like Jenna because Jenna looked like the husband, and she was really upset with that husband. So, what are your thoughts about Kokona? What role did she play? The lady who went to Hawaii and he stayed in her
Oh.
house. She was kind of like the gossip monger of the area.
So when she came back and when he was out and he was trying to make his way back to his own house
Yeah.
to see if the emergency card was
Right.
in the visor. When the police were kind of coming to Kokona's house and whatever, I was thinking maybe she'll let him back in there. I was thinking maybe she'll let him come back and come hide.
Yeah.
You really didn't know a lot about their relationship, but he clearly made himself very at home in her house.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
While
he
it
had
left
his stuff
everything
all
out.
spread out. I mean, you could get this visual of like her tablet is on the thing and his bags are in one room and he had been sleeping somewhere else. Like he was at home.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Kokona, the role for her too was that I'm wondering if she staved off the police from looking for him. I'm wondering about like how long that was transpired, because you think about it,
Possibly.
he got back to his house, obviously had that terrible interaction with Millicent. She was like waiting for him. I knew you'd be back. I knew you'd be, but all of that was transpiring while Kokona was probably entertaining the police. Because I think everything for her was like a, novel, like like fiction.
Right.
Her life was really pretty well, established.
Remember she was in Hawaii or something?
She was in Hawaii. But she was
what?
from
What
Hawaii.
was she there for?
Visiting. just like on vacation.
Yeah.
What about Andy? Like, what do y'all think about Andy?
Yeah, Andy was a sad
who was it?
situation.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tristan's
Wife
husband.
committed suicide.
Oh,
yeah, that was
yeah.
very sad. It was very sad.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
the
he
narrator-
seemed like the innocent bystander.
He did.
You know,
He did.
he didn't know any better. He didn't know what was going on. He just knew his wife was dead. His friend.
He thought his friend was cheating with her, and that
Yeah.
was not the case.
right.
But he kind of did cheat because she disclosed information
But did she tell her husband?
that she didn't tell her husband, and those were big statements she made.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and I think that if having Andy help him the way that he did, I mean, it was too late to go back and say it, but I thought, wow, that's your friend. Like, you might want to say, like, Trista did share some things with me. I know this is going to be painful, but or something.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And I thought that was really kind of sad, So, do you think that the narrator was unreliable? Do you think Millicent had just cause to feel like he would mess up here or there?
He's annoying. Like, nobody wants some weak person like that around them. And
Unreliable.
Yeah, I think that's an
he
interesting
wasn't
question.
reliable.
He wasn't reliable.
No. And
I mean, when the boy
he went to work.
he
went
fell
to
where
work
he fell. He didn't answer his phone because he was busy with Josh.
Oh,
He ran to the hospital. She texted. She's like, I did text you, but you were unavailable.
yeah, like
I don't know. Reliability isn't the main thing that I think about in terms of equality on his part. Like, he just tried to satisfy her all the time. That's how I looked at
Very
him.
pleasing.
But then you're trying to satisfy her. Who are you? Like, who
That's
are
what I'm saying.
you?
He had no identity. He was
Right.
like all about
And he
her.
said that. He did say that at some point when he was in Kokona's house, like, I alienated everybody and I made everything about my family.
Mhm.
And here it is. Millicent has everybody believing. The statement goes out. Andy says she is playing that part. She plans on leaving and going away, which would be reasonable if you're married to a serial killer.
Right.
So, I mean,
Well, but he also was he was an accomplice in this whole thing.
yeah. Which
Right?
is why
I
I don't
mean-
think the ending was that realistic.
How so?
Because the thing is that, because of those three bodies, they don't know about
how
the other
how
two.
did he not get implicated? you're saying?
Right. Yeah. There was, but the other two bodies were never found. So that's how he got off.
Yeah.
And it was just like, he could totally.
Well, but then the author leaves you to wonder: is he going to continue this whole?
Right. Pick back up.
Yes, because Quentin,
Why
that
did
wasn't.
I know, now he's out like
And why
he's
is
deaf
he still?
again.
Why
Yeah.
is he still typing on his phone?
Right. He's still
You
doing
know,
the
like
same old stuff.
I sat there literally when I finished, when I got to that hi, I'm quitting or whatever. I was just like,
Right.
Yeah.
I was
no,
like,
it is.
oh,
Right.
Right, like he's doing his
no.
like, right.
Yeah.
like, please don't keep this up.
Yes.
Like, you got your kids, your wife is dead.
Yeah.
Start over.
And really,
Right.
but it was 3 years. Right. It was 3 years.
And he might need that adrenaline rush again. He might still need that adrenaline.
Yeah.
Christina said that she hasn't finished the book yet, but most people who can be classified as a punk are pushovers and don't have an identity. And that's what I felt about him.
Mm.
They're not sure who they are and just want to please.
Yeah.
But who
Yeah,
are
but
you?
who are
and
you?
that means you could go be with the next woman and be white rice for her and do whatever.
So what would it take
Yeah.
for somebody who's like that? What would it take to snap them out of that? For them to actually get to a point where they have their own identity?
Counseling.
Because clearly, even at the end, he's not there.
Counseling.
He basically went back to a plan that he and Millicent created.
Yeah.
He had childhood trauma.
Yeah,
His
she's
parents-
still ruling him from the
She's still
grave.
ruling-
His
yeah.
parents
From the
didn't care
grave.
about him. So any
Yeah.
attention he gets is attention.
So nothing can snap him out of this.
Therapy.
No counseling.
Therapy.
He has to realize he has a problem. B, admit he has a problem.
You want to do something about that problem?
And then seek therapy.
Which step is that? Which
I'm
step?
not sure. 12 steps. 12 steps.
Yeah.
12 steps. 0.
0. Yeah, because going back to that name, I'm just like, you just rehashed the plan that you and Melissa made.
I think it's 9:48, guys. We should
Yes.
skip to number 11, and then we need to end our.
Wait, but I
podcast.
do have one quick question before this does.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
How did the children not know what was going on?
I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
How? But
I mean, she
kids are smart. Kids have instincts. Like, I was thinking to myself, how did they not know?
But they
So,
were-
for instance, how Rory knew that something was up with his father. Like he's sneaking out,
and
he's
then
probably
Jenna
cheating on it.
was worried about the serial killer and had the knife in her bed.
Yeah. So how? I don't know.
I feel like
you can't hide stuff from kids that well.
Mhm.
I don't think that to me was unrealistic. You cannot hide stuff from kids that well.
I think
you
these kids in that kind of environment, it's possible.
Really?
Because she was so controlling Wilson about their coming and going, their interactions, all of those things. I mean, how much time they had on the screen time. They didn't watch the news. She had a little TV. I mean, really.
And see, I think that made it even harder, really, to hide stuff. Because regular kids, they can be on their TV, their phone, go to bed when they want to go to bed. They're not focusing on you. That's why Roy was focusing on him leaving, because his screen time was cut off.
You didn't have a lot going on.
If you really like kids be kids, they don't give a doggone crap what you're doing. Like, my child don't know I'm home right now doing a book club.
Right.
Yeah.
What I thought was very interesting was the way that Jenna interacted with her mom towards the end, and asking her, Mom, did you do this? Could you do this? And it was like Melissa had nothing. I mean, she was just blank.
Oh yeah.
And just so like devoid.
You mean with the whole knife scene, the whole at the very end?
I mean, but I was just thinking that just to me summed up their whole interaction.
Yeah.
In along the way, because I kind of went back just to see what their interaction was like, but it seemed like the narrator, picked her up when she was sick. Mm-hmm. She would just say, "Oh, you feel fine," and I think it was also to control him, to keep him home with her. So she would be out doing whatever, Melissa, to keep him at home.
Yeah,
that was very interesting.
She does that to a kid.
I know that was horrible. That was a little low level. So was I satisfied with the ending?
Satisfied with the end?
Was I satisfied? Did it change anything?
Oh,
I was. It was an okay ending. I really wanted to see rehabilitation, but I think to Danielle's point, you have to be on a program or steps.
You have to know.
You have to know. You have a problem.
I mean, it's hard to really love an ending of a book that you like.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I want more.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt at the end of this. I'm like, I need to understand what's going on. I need to understand, why did they not catch him?
Right.
I need to understand, like, how are the kids feeling about the fact that they're with their dad now and their mom, and they're in some other country.
Yeah, they're in Scotland.
They randomly pick, boom, here's where we're going. And I need to understand, who is Quentin and what is Quentin about to do?
What's he up to?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are those?
Doesn't it make you not want to meet random people at the bar, though?
Makes you wonder about that.
Yeah. That's a past time.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you can't be friendly with. You can't be friendly with people.
No, because you really don't know.
Right. What are they
hiding?
What are you hiding?
A lot is the answer. A lot.
Yeah. That is the.
Is there a Millicent at home, or they?
Yeah. Right. Who then will be coming after you?
Right. They set you up for something.
Right.
That is So I mean, I think it was definitely a different kind of genre for us. I really feel like it stretched our thinking.
It did.
Made me think about when I think a book is good, like you said, when you're still thinking about it and the book is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, would I have picked this? Maybe not, but I'm glad I read it because it made me think, and I definitely think you do look at people differently.
Oh, yes.
And what is that mask hiding?
Yes.
What is underneath?
Yes.
And what should we be thinking about when we meet new people? And what questions do we ask?
Yeah, and what due diligence do we do?
Right.
4.5 years. 4.5 years.
True.
Friends too. You got to vet people. You got to vet.
Yes.
People.
Yes.
You can't just have a best friend you met 3 months ago. Who is? You
don't know who they are.
4.5 years, guys. That's the.
I like that. Maybe that's the match number. So
yes,
we are into August. Next book.
Yes, we are.
Can you believe it?
We know August is one of those months where
it's tough.
It flies by. Another 31 days. We thought about what's trending.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna share our next date?
think we should.
I think we should.
Okay, what's our next
Let's
date?
do it.
August
We'll put it in
20.
the comments
We'll
too.
put it in the comments too, but our next book, live book, will be Where the Crawdads Sing.
Where the Crawdads Sing.
And it will be on August 22nd.
Yeah.
This book is
At 9 o'clock.
a must read. 9
Eastern.
p.m. Eastern, Where the Crawdads Sing.
And I
It is
suggest
on
that you-
every list.
It is on every list. Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Every list, everywhere.
Yes.
Now, my mother started. She's like, Danny, it's so boring. I couldn't even start. I'm warning you. It takes place in the marsh. What marsh?
North Carolina area.
It might be a book that you might not normally pick up, but it's really, really good.
And I would say give it the first 70 pages.
70.
I would say 100.
Okay. 100.
I concur. It's fine.
100.
100.
Like, it start now because it's a long book.
But it
It
has,
has some stuff to it.
absolutely.
Stuff.
You are going. We're gonna have a great conversation.
Woohoo.
Yes,
So,
it's really.
I'm
I'm excited.
August
I haven't read it
22nd.
yet.
Start now.
I'm rereading it. So
I
August
need to reread it
22nd.
too.
Absolutely.
It's so good. I mean, there's like murder in it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
history.
whoa, no spoilers here.
And
No
love.
spoilers.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
murder, mystery,
Murder,
love.
mystery, love,
Abandonment.
some race
Alana
issues.
said you are not motivating her.
No, this is
This is not our normal book. It's not. This is a book to expand
and
you a little
at
bit.
dinner parties, conversations. Everybody's talking about this book. Alana, you'll want to read it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Tanya, this is another one. Dig in.
And
Christina,
Christina, you'll love it.
you're gonna like it. I mean, it has everything that makes a really good book.
It really
A book
does.
that's memorable, that again transcends time, which I know that's something that a lot of us think about when we're thinking about what's your favorite book.
Yeah.
So, Where the Crawdads Sing, August
Yes.
22nd. Meet us here, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Start tomorrow reading the book. Start tomorrow.
Get on the book list, the waiting list at the library, download it, get moving, okay? Don't forget, everyone.
Live the book.
See ya.
Don't kill anybody either.
Murder is wrong.
Right.
Wrong.
It was just a
Dead
book.
wrong.
Don't
we
do
do
it.
not